So I've been delaying telling this story for a while just because it has to do with regret and it's a little bit embarrassing. So I didn't really want to talk about it or bring it up, but I feel like it might help somebody, so I want to bring it up. So here we go. But I feel like it might help somebody, so yeah, I'm gonna share it. Back in 2016, I was living in Texas, and I was a manager at the Starbucks location. I was assistant manager to my friend Dean, and he was a really cool supervisor, and he kept the store running, and he was there when I got there. So as we were going and progressing through this entire work relationship, we were just able to vibe really well, and he was a cool guy. Over the summer in 2016, I went back to Alaska for a week, and I had vacation time, so I was just like, Dean, you hold it down. I'm gonna just take a vacation, I'll be right back. So that was in July, and it was before the school year started, and we were managing this Starbucks location on the University of Texas campus. So this was a college location that did a lot of numbers and a lot of business, and it was stressful at times, but in the middle of the summer, it was super, super slow. So I was like, now's the time for me to take a break before the semester starts and all these students come back to campus. So I left Dean alone, and I went to Alaska and just hung out. It was the summer that Pokemon Go had just come out, and it was just kind of one of those things felt like they were in a pretty good spot. So I take the vacation and then I come back, and then Dean tells me that he just put in his 2 weeks notice and he is dipping out completely. My right hand guy, if Dean's gone, I'm in charge. If I'm gone, we don't know what really happens, but that circumstance never really happened until now. So Dean says that he put in his notice, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? You're leaving me here high and dry. And he's like, I don't know. I guess you're just gonna, you become manager. So reluctantly, I stepped into the managerial position just because you're on a college campus working around college students. I've already graduated at this point, so I'm just okay, this is good work experience, I guess, and somebody's got to make this a location run. And we have already built up a rapport with all of our clientele. People started coming to the Starbucks location simply because Dean and I were there. So we were the reason that the store ran. And then we saw an increase in numbers, and we saw an increase in guest satisfaction, and we were the reason that things were so streamlined there. So with Dean walking out of the picture, it kind of put me in a weird spot that I'm just okay, bud, I guess I'll just take it from here. So the semester started, and we were really far behind because I didn't make the order that was super stacked up. So the semester starts off and it's we are behind because we're running out of cups, we're running out of supplies, things are chaotic. I eventually have a meeting with my supervisor, and I'm just hey, we're gonna stock up ×4 on all of the supplies. So if you see a big invoice come in for a huge order, please do not be alarmed, because that's the kind of volume we're doing right now. So he says, okay, it's fine, but I know that he's watching me, and I know that there's a big target on my back just because it's this is one of the best locations on campus. Don't mess this up, and people love their Starbucks. It was a licensed location, so it wasn't a real official scrutinized location, but regardless, I wanted to do my best at it. So the semester progressed, pressure started coming up. I still weathered the storm regardless of flaky employees or just stressful times. I was the reason people are coming back is because I'm here. The reason people trust me is because I'll remake drinks, or I'll make things right, and I'll make sure that the location has a good reputation. So this continued through the semester, and this was the year that Adele had just come out with Hello. And that entire album was amazing, and she was going on tour, and it was coming through Austin, and it was playing for 2 nights. Yeah, I was Friday and Saturday, Adele's gonna be here. Regardless of whatever franticness this store is in, I really want to be at this concert. And of course, the tickets sell out within 2 hours. Every single ticket for both days are sold out. So it was a short-lived dream, but it was still something that I was stoked about. So I tell that to the employees. I was just like, man, I almost got tickets, but they were sold out and the whole thing crashed and it was really a bummer. And so they were like, man, that's too bad. Oh well. So we go about our day, go about our week. And then an employee says, I actually have a friend who can't make it to the Adele concert and they want to sell their ticket. Would you be interested? I'm like, yes, I'm interested. Give me the deets. What's the details? So she gives me this guy's number, texts this guy. He's in San Antonio, which is like an hour and a half south of Austin. And I'm like, this weekend, can I drive down there, pay you for this ticket, and like have it be legit? And he's like, yeah, I'll hold on to it just for you. Come on down. I drive an hour and a half down to San Antonio and I pay this guy $200 for a ticket. He bought it online, so it wasn't a physical ticket, but I paid him $200 cash and he forwards me an email and it says, an evening with Adele. I was like, sweet, this is awesome. I remember that the tickets were like, it was like Friday and Saturday, and usually like I'm so used to just being like, okay, I'm usually not the first person I'm not the winner. I'm not the jackpot winner. I'm like, usually it's gonna be like the lesser tier of whatever it is. So it's like, oh, you're going to a basketball game, nosebleed seat. Oh, you're going to Adele. Not the first night, the second night. That's just how I figured it. So I was like, I think they said like the 21st or something. Sweet, sounds good. That's in like a month and a half, so I will just worry about that later because it's going to be closer to Christmas time and stuff, and things should slow down on campus too, so we're good. So purchased the ticket, got forwarded the ticket, and I was like, this is legit, I'm doing it. So as the semester goes on, Starbucks has to roll out menus, and I'm having employees that are needing to take finals, and things are just getting really intense because people aren't showing up to work because they have to take a test, or they have a really busy schedule, or we're not able to hire enough people. So it turned into me being at this location for like a lot of hours. And I was like, if you're not gonna hire more people, I'm gonna gouge you on overtime. So I did not worry about stepping off the clock. It was be like, I would open the location and then the location closed at 11 p.m. but we open at 7. So then there were some times when I would just be like, I'll get out of here at 7:30. Like I'm not gonna shy away from a 12-hour day because you can't hire more employees to help me out. And the location only runs streamlined because I'm there, so checkmate. So I stayed on the clock and I kept gouging overtime, and it was just kind of like, okay, this location runs because I run it. As we got closer to the holidays, there was a new menu rollout, and in order to be in compliance for a licensed location, you have to swap out the menus and keep everything established where it's like, okay, if they walk into one Starbucks, they've walked into all the Starbucks. Of just like, it's the same menu, it's the same stickers, everything's just kind of, it's that kind of congruent marketing that just goes hand in hand with everything. So that whole stack came in, and I was like, okay, well, it says that we have until Saturday to be in compliance. I need to swap over all these menus, but I don't have time to swap over all the menus if I'm busy running the location. I don't have time to swap over the menus because people are still ordering from the old menus. We'll worry about it later. So Friday comes, and on Fridays, the location closed down at like 5. It was an early close. So I stayed on, and I was just like, okay, well, I opened today, and in order to be in compliance, these menus have to be swapped over by tomorrow. So okay, everybody already left. I guess I'll just swap over these menus and I'm gonna get out of here. So I swapped over the menus. I stayed late, ended up clocking out at like 8, I think, and the entire floor was moved and everything was restocked. If you do a floor move or a menu swap out, like, you know what I'm talking about. So I did it, and then an alert popped up on my phone the next day that said Adele concert, and then I was like, yes, this is the weekend. I totally forgot it. I wasn't running anything on Saturday. There was already some other people that were gonna run the like slower days, and I was like, sweet, we're good to go. I popped over to the Irwin Center down in Austin, and I was like, okay, it's Saturday night, let's do this. And I walked up to the doors and I got my Adele ticket ready, and then the scanner thing like scanned it and it was like doo 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 doo. And I'm like, this was the ticket for last night. Okay, so there were 2 nights and I had a ticket for the first night. Yeah, so this isn't gonna work tonight. Okay. I could have tried to finesse my way in, or try to come up with an excuse of like, hey, can you please honor this one? I didn't know. Or scalp a ticket out front and just try to get in to see like this amazing artist that I wanted to see, that I had planned on seeing. But I just walked away. Maybe it's on me because I didn't check the ticket. In the midst of all this chaos and all the work and stuff, I just didn't keep up on things that I wanted to pursue, on things that I wanted to accomplish. So I gave my time to this company, and I gave my time to short resources, and I missed out on what I really wanted. I missed out on something that was going to be like an awesome memory, but I spent it working. So I don't know if that helps anyone, but it's really important to chase what matters and to pursue what you feel is important with your time, and to pursue what you know is going to give you joy in the long run. Because there's always going to be a new menu rollout, and there's always going to be more hours on the clock that you can milk for. But there's not always going to be an awesome Adele concert. There's not always going to be that thing that you want that's right in front of you, and you're not going for it. So I would implore you guys to chase what matters and don't let anything stand in your way, because Starbucks / the licensed location didn't care about my concert. They cared about the menus being in compliance. And I get really stubborn where I'm like, I'll just do it myself, instead of like me being like, hey, you need to swap over all these menus before the night is over. Or I could have left it for the following day to do, but I was just like, I'll just get it done myself, and that way I'll know it's done. But in the midst of that compromise, I compromised on what I really wanted, and it was just like, if I would have known, I should have known that that was the night that the concert was happening. I just figured that I was on the second night. In order to get like a second-hand ticket, it wasn't going to be prime, but it was going to be good. So it was like, I wasn't really expecting it to be the first night, and it was staring me right in the face of like something that I wanted, and I let work crowd my judgment, and I missed out. So when it comes to regrets or missing out, I'm definitely going to try my hardest not to anymore. I've kind of built that into my personality now, of just being like, I'm the person that takes the last cookie, or I'm the person that takes the front seat or something. It's just kind of like, I'm just taking what I want now, and I'm not going to apologize about it, or I'm not going to sit back and just kind of let things happen. It's like, no, I'm gonna make things happen. So just think about that when you're asked to pick up another shift, or you haven't seen your friends in a long time. Just think about what actually matters and what is really going to bring you joy. Is it more money, more quality time with friends? Is it an experience? Just chase what's important to you.
Oh, impressive!
Say it one more time.
You are the coolest barista. You're so much fun. You're so nice to all of us.
I agree. Get out of this one.